For a performance slash luxury everyday use but not a full-blown M, BMW of Wesley Chapel gives us the 2023 BMW M440i convertible in Portimao Blue metallic, and we're going to show you a little bit of that 0 to 60 just like this. And this sports car goes after your Audi S5, your Mercedes AMG C43. But another question that always entertains my mind is this actually better than a full-blown M? Because you're getting the performance, you can tune this engine to make it even more powerful. Is it better than the rivals? I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides. I'm going to go over all the specs and details starting now. Right off the bat, the BMW M440i convertible has a stance to it like no other, and a lot of that starts off with that new iconic grille that they've implemented a few years back. It is definitely something that people think of an eyesore, but with this color contrast in the piano black, I think it matches perfect. It's an active grille shutter, 50-year M emblems on the top, going into your LED BMW headlamps and daytime runnings, the piano black on the whole lower trim. Very aggressive stance that is projected out of the BMW with a 52.7, 47.3 weight distribution, which is the best in class, comparing it to the Audi S5 or the Mercedes AMG C43. 19-inch with the M50 badging, M Sport brakes, which gives us 4 pistons in the front with a 15.7-inch disc reading. The rear is going to be a 2-piston at 15 inches. Aluminum front subframe with aluminum suspension arms. Double joint spring struts. The rear is a 5-link, active M differential and adaptive M suspension with electronically controlled dampers. A length at 189.1 inches, a wheelbase at 112.5 inches. On the Audi S5 and on the C43 AMG, you're going to get more dynamics in your suspension than you would a standard. Very similar to this. However, because of the weight distribution, easier to take cornering. This one's going to be a rear-wheel drive instead of the X-Drive 4-wheel drive. This will be the slower variant, comparing it against all of the rivals. Because of the convertible, it's not going to even match the convertible for the Audi, but we will receive the LED tail lamps, and I like how the trunk kind of flows up, and on the lower you get all the business with the piano black diffuser and how it gives a two-tone, the side gills with the piano black, dual exhaust outlets, that's blacked out. Quick trunk release to 12 cubic feet. You have some storage on both sides with a 12-volt charger. With the top down, this is going to lose a little bit of space here. Fold down the rear bench in the back. That's going to increase the cargo. However, you don't buy a convertible for that. You buy an M440i for performance. Let's start it up so you can hear that exhaust note. The BMW M440i definitely has the exhaust note. With the top down, you got the style that just makes it look beautiful in a hot atmosphere. And what I do like about the BMW, comparing it to the rivals, is when you pull up to a red light with this vehicle, you're going to know the performance because they back it with a 3.0 liter BMW M TwinPower Turbo inline 6-cylinder, producing 382 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque. That's paired to a ZF 8-speed automatic transmission, achieving 23 to 31 mpgs. The convertible non-X-Drive 0 to 60 at 5 seconds. If you option the X-Drive, it's at 4.7 seconds with a quarter mile at 12.3 seconds. Even though this will not be the fastest 0 to 60 or quarter mile, you'll have the most horsepower comparing it to the Audi S5. Comparing this to the Mercedes C43 AMG, that one is going to be a lot faster, but you're also going to pay a little bit more in the premium. So when you're looking apples to apples, you're getting a cruiser and the dynamics near 50-50 weight distribution. Torque is going to be the same on all perimeters. Let me know in the comments what you think about the 2023 BMW M440i convertible. As we go into the interior, go over the tech, and take this for our test run. Entering inside the BMW M440i convertible, and I'd probably never have the top up, but for this case I need to show you that it's 40.3 inches of headroom, 41.7 inches of legroom, Oyster Vernasca leather with 14-way power seat adjustment for the driver and memory. You have your cushion extensions, they're heated seats. The passenger will have an 8-way power adjustment with the manual cushion extensions. The dashboard gets the ambient lighting that's going to be between the air vents. Standard 8.8-inch touchscreen. We have the pinch and the swipe for the navigation. Click onto the home button so you can see all the apps with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM, AM, FM, streaming, Bluetooth audio. You can also change the mode so you can have your sport, your plus, individual, and you can configure it to make it as sport derived as you like. Switch it to reverse. We have a 360-degree reverse camera with automatic parking and backup assist. You will also have your 3D, which you just click onto here, click on these little icons, and you can go all around the vehicle. We do not have gesture here, so you won't be able to do any gesture activation. Your car wash, giving you the trajectory for the front to pull in and make it easy to clean your car. Optional 10.3-inch underneath it with your dual climate control settings and your quick settings for your stereo system. Storage pocket for your phone, USB, and a 12-volt cup holders. I would say you could fit at least a 20-ounce bottle, and then you'll get that wood inlays with the satin aluminum. You'll have your iDrive. It's going to be more sport derived, but it's still soft. Open up inside to another USB-C port and some storage going on to your M-Spec 3-spoke leather wrap steering wheel. It's heated. Multi-function. We get the paddle shifters. The gauge cluster, you can change it. So if you put it into Eco Pro, you'll see how everything just changes. Going to comfort, you'll see a little bit more aggressive, and then super aggressive when you put it into sport. Hit the BC button and you'll change that pound-feet of torque and horsepower to your G or your sound system, and you can see what mode you're in. Heads-up display with the contrast stitching that goes throughout the dashboard in the gloss black. Harman Kardon upgraded sound system with your everyday materials on the door panel. One touch up and down for all your windows. It's going to be more sporty for your elbows. A long storage pocket, and it gets deep right in here. For the back seat, it's going to be a little bit tight. The headroom, I can actually fit legroom at 34.7 inches, so it's a little bit tight. You really just want to kind of get up close and personal with the people in the back. You do have a cup holder here in the center, your third climate control, heated rear seats, 2 USB-C ports, harder materials behind both of the front seats. But it's not necessarily an issue. If you're taller, it actually fits out better because you can put your arm here to rest. Otherwise, you don't really have an armrest area on either side. Harman Kardon upgraded sound system. With the top down though, it's a lot better, more pleasing. Just the air is going to hit directly into my face because there's really nothing to block it. But because it's a convertible, we're just gonna let it slide. Taking the 2023 BMW M440i convertible out for our test run. Let me put it into sport mode with this 3.0 liter BMW M TwinPower Turbo inline 6-cylinder with a 48-volt mild hybrid technology, 382 horsepower, which is more than the Audi S5. It's going to be less than the Mercedes AMG C43, 369 pound-feet of torque. That matches all of them. So all three of them get the same pound-feet of torque, 8-speed automatic transmission, which is through ZF, one of my favorite because it's basically bulletproof, something that lasts around 250 to 300,000 miles, and studies have shown that it is just as fast as a dual clutch automatic transmission, which is insane. Visibility for the M440i, it is very dynamic, which is a good thing. The hood is long, so you still get the traditional BMW stance. A sleek windscreen. A-pillars are a bit chunky, kind of pushed towards you, but I like the ovalness of the windscreen because if you go up to the M8, it kind of droops down. This one keeps it projected. So someone tall, you could drive this car without any issues at all. And now we're going to show you what this M440i is capable of. We got it in sport mode. Here we go. The only downside to the performance that you get is the exhaust goes, it's gone immediately. I wish that it stayed loud and performance driven afterwards, because it really only does it around 2.5 to 3 RPM. If I look at the dynamics, M Sport brakes, you're not gonna have to worry about that. Is it better than a full-blown M? Well, at this price point, we're around $76,000, $77,000. So you can actually option a full-blown M at this price point. The nice thing about this particular vehicle is obviously you can tune it. You can also tune an M too. So it just kind of goes by the size of your wallet in that. Is it better than an S5? I like the interior and the exterior styling better in this than the S5 Cabriolet. I do like the Cabriolet style, and if this was not an option for me, that would be something I would go for. However, the way that touchscreen navigation is integrated inside, it's also a bit of a turnoff, and I usually say that on my reviews, that just like they threw it there where this is actually placed where it's supposed to be. I would have liked to see the 10.3-inch touchscreen instead of an 8.8. We do not have gesture, we do have deletes also, so we do not have lumbar support for the passenger. That's why we lose seat adjustments. We're still seeing this at 2013. It's a little irritated, especially considering the price that we're paying for these vehicles. Now, there is 3 things I like and 3 things that I dislike. Is anything more than that, I'd be buying this M440i. The 3 things that I like about the vehicle is the color combo to this. I was a little bit hesitant at first, and I've said that about a few of the BMW color. In their palette, it's like, oh, I don't want to do another blue car. I personally own a blue car. But looking at this, I would actually buy this the way it's set up. The piano black against it really makes it a lot more sporty and aggressive looking, especially for that kidney grille, because a lot of people dislike the kidney grille because of the stance and the way it is, but they do it for purpose. I'm gonna show you a little go here. And you can see for maneuverability, you're not going to have an issue, which takes me to the second thing that I like, best weight distribution when you're comparing it to the rivals. So yes, they're gonna be faster in your 0 to 60 and maybe a little bit faster in the quarter mile. However, if you're doing a full circuit, you're going to be still right with them, because you can corner on this where they'll have to slow down. That's what makes a better weight distribution, and BMW does that. The last thing that I like about the vehicle is you still have a pass-through, and you can fold the back seat down. So if you option or buy something that is big, the trunk space to this is enormous. They stopped doing the Z4. It's discontinued after this year, so you don't really have another option for convertible unless you're going to the M8. That one's gonna be a lot longer, so if you want something that's still a practical car and you still got good cargo space, that's what this vehicle slots in for. With the top up and comfort, it's going to change the ride a little bit, but on a positive note, it still feels dynamic with the top up. As for the sound in the interior, you're gonna hear some through the wheel wells. That's a given. You're not gonna see the heads-up display with polarized glasses. 3 things that I dislike about the vehicle is when you option the convertible and you don't get the X drive, you're losing 0.3 seconds, plus you're also losing a few more tenths of a second because it's a convertible, which I understand you're gonna add some weight to it. However, I like the convertible better than a coupe. I want something that looks like a weekend trip every time I drive it, and that's what you get out of this. The second thing that I dislike about the vehicle, even though you have more horsepower than Audi, it's slower. The last thing that I dislike about the vehicle is we're still seeing delete options in 2023. This is something that I don't understand. It's good for the automotive industry, and they give you a little bit of a discount, but just stop. Going back to the rivals, who is going to be better? Well, when you get into numbers, this one will be the least. But when you get for the fun to drive spirit, this one starts tacking up. Why? Because the dynamics on this, you're getting M Sport suspension, you're getting everything more or less M except for the power underneath it. So what that means is when we put it into sport right now, and we stop right here to show you what exactly I'm talking about, look at this. Now on the flip side to that, because this is rear wheel drive, it does get rear wheel happy. Gonna fill it up. There we go. Throw it into Eco Pro and no one knows that you came in the neighborhood. That's a nice thing about BMW. Even though I'm an exhaust person, I love to hear it. That's why I own a Maserati. But if you need it to be quiet, just put it on Eco Pro. Can't hear nothing but the road noise. The interior is going to be more quiet in the Audi. Mercedes and BMW will be roughly about the same. As for the way you feel in it, this is going to be super aggressive. The Audi, you sit upwards a little bit, so you lose a little bit of that aggressiveness. The door panels are also raised a little bit higher than the Audi. The same thing with the dash. As for the Mercedes, that one's going to be very luxurious on the interior. You will also have that sporty feel, but for everyday vehicle, if you need to go on a weekend trip, you don't want a full M, you want to save some money on service, this is something to look at because you're getting all of those bells and whistles and you're still getting performance behind it. I mean, 382 horsepower is a lot. I'd like to thank BMW of Wesley Chapel for giving us this 2023 BMW M440i convertible for our car review. If you're already a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Hawkeye community. If not, I don't know what you're waiting for. Click the next video, the subscribe button, check out the details merchandise website and everything we do here at Hawkeye Rides. On a side note, I'm actually looking to purchase this vehicle. So write something in the comments and I'll let you know if I ended up buying it.